Hi, everybody. Gonna wait for some people to show up here first. I'll just start with, my name is Rochelle. I'm the High Priestess. I'm here tonight to talk to you guys about a few things and to also give away some free readings at the end. So I'm gonna start with sorry, let me just get my notes. So yeah, the moon is in Leo currently, and right now it's the first moon without the North Node being in Leo, because the North Node changed recently to Cancer. So this is the first moon that we've had in a long time where the North Node isn't in Leo too. So this is kind of I feel like this is our reminder and our test to see if we are being authentic and living authentic and choosing to, and our choices are authentic to us and what we want and desire, what our hearts are telling us, as opposed to what others want for us or think is best for us sometimes. Yeah, so the full moon is without the North Node, or sorry, it's not a full moon. It's the first Leo moon without the North Node in Leo. So I think it's going to be really hard for us to ignore our authentic pull and our authentic spark, I guess. And I feel like, yeah, it's going to be really hard to ignore it. And this is gonna come into effect with Venus as well. So listen up for more on that here in a minute. But yeah, it's almost like also Leo's authenticity is kind of blending with Cancer's deep needs right now because of the nodal shift. So I feel like we're gonna need it. Like now that we've learned that lesson, we're gonna need it. But we're also gonna realize, hey, Champagne, thanks for tuning in. But yeah, so it's our deepest needs are going to stem from that authenticity that we've been learning so much about in the past little while the North Node was recently in Leo. So yeah, pay attention to what, like I said before in my recent videos, pay attention to what we're being pulled to, especially right now, and especially just with everything. Pay attention to every little thing that is kind of being shown to us through ourselves and through others and our environment. Yeah, there can be random divine timing and inspirations right now. I know I had something happen today that was kind of interesting. I'll kind of share it quickly. So I was feeling really down earlier today. It was a pretty bad low, thinking about really negative thoughts and stuff. And then all of a sudden it was like right when I needed it most, I got this random message from somebody that I did a reading for 3 years ago. Divine timing. It does take forever, and like we always want it when we want it, but it's never. We just have to let go. Like, I can't tell you how many messages I've been trying to, okay, come on, like show me a sign. And it doesn't happen like that. It won't ever happen when you try to force it. But yeah, no, this morning it happened right when I needed it. It was so weird how it happened. But anyways, this person I'd given a reading 3 years ago when I was I was pretty new to doing readings for people, and he found me. I thought he found me through YouTube or through a Facebook astrology group or something, or my high priestess page. But he found me through finding an old email that he had used to, or I had used to send him his reading at that time. So it was really random, and I guess it was kind of the push I needed, because he's like, "Thank you so much for my reading." And I was like, "Really? Oh, good. That's good." So it was needed. So pay attention to those little because yeah, like astrology is something that is authentic to me in a way that I kind of lost track of the past year. Kind of fell into a big whirlwind of all kinds. Life happens to all of us. But I realized that I wasn't being authentic to myself by not, doing it. So much to learn. Yeah, it's a never-ending learning process for sure. Any astrologer will tell you that for sure. But yeah, I thought I would share that little message because I was really struggling today. Like it was bad, and but that kind of sort of helped, and then eventually I just kind of made myself get better from there. Got out of the house and everything else, right? But yeah, so pay attention to any little random messages, and also don't ignore those little things and little dreams and things that you love, or that brings you love and joy. Yeah, because that's authentic to you, and you can't lose that. Because then why the hell else are you living, right? But anyways, rambling. I should call this deep thoughts with Rochelle. So yeah, random divine timing, inspirations. There can be also a renewal of faith. I think a lot of people are struggling with their faith right now. Their faith is being challenged, and I think a lot of that has to do with Mars and Pisces being squared by Mercury and Jupiter and the Sun. So our faith is really being challenged. A lot of us are struggling big time. But that being said, it's always in those darkest times, when that faith is renewed eventually, whether through ourselves or through others or whatever. Yeah, it's just important not to lose that faith. And like if you do, it's okay. It's okay. It's all right to lose faith. We all do sometimes, but you just gotta keep going. Anyways. Also, oh yeah, I forgot about this. Something else that kind of plays into the Leo moon and not being authentic, and being, this has to do with being, here, I'll just read this first. Just having the courage to dare to be authentic. Today, I had a lady was asking me, or I was telling her about an occupation I used to have, and she asked when it was I had worked there. And when I said, when did I was trying to search my brain, like, when did I work there? For at least I was trying to find at least a year or something in my mind. And she's like, oh, when you were a teenager? I was like, slow blink. Yeah. And it kind of hit me because I'm only 26. But I guess it kind of hit me, like, for the first time, I realized people don't assume I'm a teenager anymore. And I know it's like really small and kind of, but anyways, it hit me right then and there that, whoa, like I am getting older. But I wasn't like panicked at the realization. I kind of giggled to myself and carried on. I didn't feel bad, or I didn't feel sad, and I didn't feel ashamed. Um, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. It was a weird realization that I was kind of proud of, sort of like, hey, like, cool, I'm not a teenager, like, and I'm not mistaken for that. And that's kind of something that is forced upon us to not really accept in today's society. We're all forced, not forced, but it's conditioned for us to not accept that aging process. And I think normally I would have been scared, or like, oh my God, like, really? Like, I'm not that young anymore. But it's a process, and like I said in one of my recent videos, we're all just evolving, and we're all like Pokemon evolving to the next level, right? But yeah, I was almost kind of proud, and it felt like I kind of graduated from the maiden to the mother. And even though I kind of have thought for a long time that I had always been that, and I have been a mother for 8 years almost. But it kind of clicked that it was like, no, I kind of finally just earned that. Like now I am in the mother stage. I've passed the maiden stage to the mother stage. But yeah, and like we all go through that. Even men, they go through those stages too, right? Like, anyways, I hope that I'm making sense here. Yeah, it was like I kind of finally earned my stripes. Yeah, it's all about not being ashamed too about that authenticity. Like, anyways, I know that kind of plays into authenticity somehow. Point is, instead of feeling sad or insecure, I felt proud. And not only am I proud of surviving this long, but I'm also proud of what it took to get me to that stage, if that makes sense. And it was funny too, because I thought I was really there. Like I said, I thought I was already in that mother stage of knowledge and everything, but I was only in the beginning, and I still really am. Like, we're all always learning. Yeah. My point is, honor where you are in your journey and where you are in your evolution, because everything changes too. Like, everything's constantly changing. Like, that's shown in astrology, that's shown in our bodies, that's shown everywhere. Yeah. Honor those stages that you're in, and because it's part of your unique journey, right? Honor the shit out of it, because not every stage and journey is going to be the same. Like, your journey through that stage, it will be totally different than someone else's, or similar, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's your unique stage and what you take out of it. But anyways, I'm getting to more points here. Also, I realized another thing today. Another thing kind of came to me, and I think it had to do with the Leo moon as well. I was reminded that it has to do with authenticity and living like true to your free spirit, no matter what spontaneous, a fucked up direction your little spirit is pointing you towards. If you're pulled, you're pulled. And it's not anyone else's place really to tell you otherwise, or where you should go, or what would be better. And even if it is out of the goodness of their hearts, only you know what you need. Anyways, I mean, yes and no. Like, yes, there's been many times where, yeah, I should have listened to people with things, absolutely. Like, and wish I had done different. But at the same time, I wouldn't have learned what I needed to learn at that time, and I wouldn't be who I am today. And I am so thankful for those mistakes, and for all the times where I did follow my heart and did follow my intuition, or my intuitive pull, even though it seemed crazy to everybody else at the time. Exactly. We live and learn, and the mistakes are part of it. So don't condemn yourself to your mistakes, or your insecurities, or your flaws. Like, don't condemn yourself. It's all part of it, and it's all part of the duality too of life, like the yin and yang, and the like it's part of it, the dark and the light. Like, we all have it, we all do, and if you're denying any of it, you're only causing yourself harm. And same with if you're going to deny yourself anything that is authentic to you. Like, there was a long time I was, in a situation where, my beliefs were being very pushed, and, someone else didn't believe in them. It's not even always about beliefs and about agreeing either. It's not. I don't want anyone to believe me. It has nothing to do with that. But it is about being authentic to you. And if someone is trying to change your beliefs or change your what is authentic to you, then, then they're obviously not accepting something in themselves, or, it's not fair, and it's not their place. It's not. You live for you. You, in the end, you are all you have. That is the biggest lesson I've learned. No one will help you. No one cares. Look at it that way. Even if, like, people do care. People do care. You do have people that love you. But in the end, no one is going to care the amount that you need from yourself. And that is the biggest one. Thanks. But yeah, like, and if you're going to deny yourself that authentic spark in any way, shape, or form, you're only denying yourself living. And that's not fair. So don't do that. Anyways, moving on here. Yeah, there's so many times in my life where, things would have gone so differently if I had not have listened to my, pull. And I'm so thankful for that. And in the bad times, the other times too. But yeah, it all boils down in the end. We have free will. We have a choice. That's why we're here, is to experience what we want. And not even just what we want, like what we don't want too, because that's part of what makes us grow. There were times I didn't want to have to walk all across town just to get to the store, or push my child in a stroller in the snow to get her to daycare and then walk all the way to work, but I had to do what I had to do in those times. Same with anybody else in any other situation. We have the free will choice, like, to give up or to keep going, or anyways. No one's going to live for you. No one's going to look out for you. You have to do it. You have to start that YouTube channel. You have to start that job. You have to start that conversation. Begin that goal. Begin working on that goal. Make that change in your routine. Buy that kitten. Quit that job. Like, now, not everyone go quitting their jobs, because that's not always good. But follow your authentic heart. We can get lost in what others think of us, or what others want for us, or what others want for themselves. Even we can want what others want, and forget ourselves in the process of it. And you know what? Sometimes they might be right. And that's okay if you screw up and find that out later, or if you do follow them and listen to them. But follow your heart. Don't do anything because other people want you to. But yeah, in the end, you can live with regret and not follow your true authentic self. Or can you live with regret and not follow your true authentic self? That is the real question anybody should ask. So again, my friends, you'll probably hear me say it every video. Trust your intuition. Follow your heart, especially when the moon is in Leo, because the moon rules the heart, or sorry, the moon. Leo rules the heart, and the spine. Don't forget. So another thing is stand up for yourself too. I'm hearing, like, stand up for what you believe, especially because because Mercury in Sagittarius is belief. Period. Have the courage to stand up for what you believe and to talk about what you believe and to, begin those ideas that you believe in, whatever it is. So so Venus, that was a little bit about the moon and Leo and everything. I just felt we needed that reminder, especially after, the North Node won't be in Leo for a long, long time. Venus. Venus is going to make an inconjunct to Chiron. Currently Venus is in Libra, and it's going to be going back into Scorpio here soon. But right now it is making an inconjunct to Chiron and Pisces. If you don't know, Chiron is our wounds. Chiron is what we have trouble healing in ourselves, but it's also what we are pretty good at healing in others, if that makes sense. Or we have the opportunity anyways to help heal others in that area. So we have this inconjunct between Venus and Pisces going on. And I believe this is the beginning of, I think we've been feeling this, I know I have for sure, for the past few days especially. It's kind of a built-up of any residue wounds that we might have, especially in regards to relationships. Hey, Bridget, thanks for tuning in. If you haven't, definitely watch the replay. I talked about all kinds of good stuff in there. I'm just talking about Venus right now in conjunct Chiron. We're going through a lot of healing and dealing with wounds that have to do with relationships. And this can also be like insecurities, outdated thoughts, outdated way of doing relationships. I'm hearing especially if you're sacrificing yourself too much, or there's not balance in the give and take, and you're just feeling depressed and down and drained and like you're suffocating, then you're not going to be able to hold out for much longer. You're going to have to change something. Something's got to happen. It has to be addressed and it has to be changed. And I feel like a lot of us are dealing with that right now anyways. Whether this is with another person or with ourselves. Relationships, period. Wounds are being healed. Like, it's not like we're just feeling pain and crap, but we are feeling healing too in certain areas. But I feel like the next step in our relationships are gonna have to be healing, and like we're not gonna want to take any more of this fucking wounding bullshit. We're gonna want to do what's best for ourselves in these relationships, especially, and what feels best, because like Venus is squaring the nodes right now. Venus is squaring the North Node in Cancer. So whatever, if we're feeling emotionally unstable and wounded, and like we're gonna have to either deal with this in ourselves and heal that, and this can also be ending. This is a great time to end certain things, whether this be a certain toxic relationship that is draining you, or it could again just be old, outdated ways of thinking and speaking and doing relationships, period. And being deceived, and like I feel like a lot of us are tired of being doormats for people, and we're kind of just done, and we're not going to accept any more of it, because we need what we need, like we need what we need, and we have to honor that. We have to. Otherwise, like I said, we're not being authentic. to ourselves and what we need, especially in relationships. And, you know, and this isn't even just like lover relationships. This is like friend, family, co-workers, boss, all that. This, you know, like we have to be honest with ourselves here, especially about how we feel. And I think a lot of us are going to be communicating that out to people, or at least thinking about it and planning to communicate to people. Yeah, let me grab my notes again here. So, yeah, and it's gonna, and like, because this is gonna affect our future. If we don't cut this in the bud right now and continue bad habits or bad ways of doing things, and even bad ways of, like, so a lot of people are struggling with loving themselves right now. And I feel like if we don't start healing that and start at least trying to love ourselves or working towards that one day at a time, then it's only going to get worse for our future. Like we won't have that growth. And I feel like a lot of us are kind of done. We're at a certain point where we're like, enough's enough. I need this for my future. But yeah, so Mercury also is going to be retrograding into Scorpio. And the reason I mention this is because Venus goes into Scorpio pretty soon here too. And I think it's in like 4 days or something. Yeah, 4 or 5 days. So pay attention to what's coming up here and what's uncomfortable, what's challenging you with people and with yourself. Like where are you in your way also? So yeah, Mercury is retrograding into Scorpio, so we could have some more secrets coming out, or we could be revisiting some deep-rooted issues and hurts as well. I think a lot of people are going to be thinking about talking about these things too eventually here once Mercury goes direct. I think we're all kind of in the process of thinking about it. Also, pay attention to dreams, intuition right now, because you're likely right. Venus, Venus is going into Scorpio. In the beginning of Scorpio, and Mercury is coming into the last degrees, so the end of Scorpio. So yes, and Venus just came out of retrograde not very long ago, so we're feeling out all that shit that we're revisiting in Scorpio season. We're feeling it out and we're bringing it to light, I feel. And I feel like a lot of there's going to be a lot of relationships ending or transforming and healing as well. And a lot of communication about pain and deceit and lies and hurt. But also a lot of conversations about the truth are going to be coming into the light here pretty soon, within the next like 4 days, 4 or 5 days, and even like a week or so before and after. Pay attention to anything in those regards coming up. Also, Chiron is going to trine the nodes. So Chiron in Pisces, trining North Node in Cancer. So this is actually a harmonious aspect. So we're going to be able to heal I feel a lot of us are going to be able to heal and move forward in the right direction for our futures, like in what is best for us and what we need ultimately for our futures. And this isn't just individually, but as a like collective, like in our planet. So yeah, that's interesting. We're gonna have to. There's a huge opportunity to start healing and nurturing ourselves, as well as nurturing what we want for the future. Oh, I love it. Awesome. And helping others heal too. And I think, yeah. Interesting. So yeah, that. So yeah, that's what's going on with Venus in these next few days. So a lot of relationship stuff is going to be it's going to be rocky for a bit, guys, but it's there obviously for us to grow. Yeah. Trust your intuition when it comes to relationships, especially when Venus goes into Scorpio. I believe that's like in 3 or 4 days. We said 4 or 5 days. Trust your intuition, especially around that time, because you're likely right. Especially water signs. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. Also, please like, subscribe, follow my page on Facebook, The High Priestess. I'm going to be doing some, I'm going to be doing some tarot videos. So I'll have those up in the next few days, probably. Tarot videos for each sign for the month of December. So stay tuned for that. Keep your eyes open for that. And then also I might do a live later tonight. Didn't really have many people watching as I made this one. That's okay, because it was mostly talking about the Leo moon and Venus, so that's fine. So yeah, ultimately just a reminder of being authentic, guys, and don't settle for anything but authenticity in relationships, in yourself. You know, be true. Be true to you. Awesome. Have a good night, guys, and thank you so much.